The camera cuts to black. Security is scrambling. Chaos is erupting in ways we've never seen before. Roman Reigns just lost his mind, and what happened after the show went off the air is making headlines across the entire world right now. The tribal chief didn't just attack Bronson Reed, he went through him like a freight train through paper. But that's not even the craziest part. New York police officers tried to intervene, and Roman Reigns put hands on law enforcement. I'm not joking. This isn't scripted. This isn't part of the show. This is Roman Reigns unleashing pure, unfiltered rage, and by the time this video is over, you're going to see footage that WWE never wanted you to see. This is the moment the tribal chief crossed a line that can never be uncrossed. Right now, before we dive into this absolute insanity, I need you to understand something. SLAMZONE is your home for the truth. We don't sugarcoat. We don't hold back. We show you what really happens when the cameras stop rolling and the chaos begins. If you're not subscribed yet, I'm asking you from the heart, hit that subscribe button. Turn on that notification bell. Be part of this family because we're building something real here. We're giving you content that matters, breakdowns that go deeper, and moments that other channels won't touch. Drop a comment right now and tell me if you think Roman has gone too far, or if this is exactly what the tribal chief needed to do to send a message. Let's get into this madness. The show just ended. The lights in Madison Square Garden are still buzzing. The crowd is filing out, security is trying to clear the arena, and most of the production crew thinks they're done for the night. But backstage, something is brewing. Roman Reigns is pacing back and forth in the gorilla position, that area right behind the curtain where wrestlers wait before they go out. His jaw is clenched. His eyes are wild. Paul Heyman is trying to calm him down, but you can see it, Roman isn't listening to anyone right now. Something snapped inside the tribal chief tonight, and whatever control he usually has is completely gone. Bronson Reed made a mistake. A massive, career-altering mistake. During the main event segment earlier in the night, Reed ran his mouth. He disrespected the bloodline. He disrespected the tribal chief. He stood in that ring and told Roman Reigns that his time was up, that the big dog had gotten soft, that Roman wasn't the same beast he used to be. The crowd ate it up. They love seeing someone stand up to Roman. But Bronson Reed didn't understand what he was waking up. He didn't realize that Roman Reigns has been holding back, playing the calculated heel, the methodical champion. But when you push a man like Roman too far, when you question his legacy, when you threaten everything he's built, that's when the real monster comes out. The show goes off the air. The network feed cuts. The arena is in that weird transition phase where everything feels half-lit and empty. Most fans are gone. The ring crew is starting to break down equipment. But Roman Reigns storms back through the curtain, and he's got one target in mind. Bronson Reed is walking toward the locker room area, probably thinking he's safe now that the show is over. He's laughing with some of the backstage crew, completely unaware that Roman is hunting him like prey. Security sees Roman coming. They know that look. They've seen it before, but never this intense. One of the senior security guys steps in front of Roman, puts his hand up, tries to be the voice of reason. Roman, the show's over. Let's just cool down. Let's talk this out. Roman doesn't even acknowledge him. He walks right past like the man doesn't exist. His eyes are locked on Bronson Reed, and nothing is stopping him from getting there. Reed finally sees Roman coming. His face changes instantly. The cocky grin disappears. He knows what's about to happen, and he starts backing up, hands raised, trying to talk his way out of it. Yo, Roman, chill man. It was just business. Just storyline stuff, brother. But Roman doesn't care about storylines right now. Roman doesn't care about scripts or creative meetings or what management wants. Roman Reigns is operating on pure instinct, pure fury, and Bronson Reed is about to pay the price. Roman charges. He hits Reed with a Superman punch that echoes through the entire backstage area. Reed staggers backward, crashes into a production crate, and before he can even recover, Roman is on him. Fists are flying. It's not wrestling anymore. This is a street fight. This is personal. Roman grabs Reed by the head and slams him into a concrete wall. Once, twice, 3 times. Reed's legs give out, and he crumples to the floor. But Roman isn't done. He drags Reed back up and drives him through a catering table. Food and drinks go everywhere. The entire backstage area erupts into chaos. Wrestlers start coming out of their locker rooms. GUSO and Jimmy USO rush over, but they're not trying to stop Roman, they're making sure nobody else interferes. This is bloodline business now. Solo Sikoa appears from somewhere in the shadows, standing like a brick wall, arms crossed, making it clear that anyone who tries to help Bronson Reed is going to have to go through him first. Staff members are yelling. Producers are on their radios calling for more security. But here's the thing, security doesn't want to touch Roman Reigns. He's not just any wrestler. He's the face of the company. He's the tribal chief. He's the guy who sells out arenas and brings in millions of dollars. Nobody wants to be the person who puts their hands on Roman Reigns and ends up being the reason he walks out of WWE. So they hesitate. And in that hesitation, Roman continues his assault. He picks Bronson Reed up one more time and drives him through a door that leads to the loading dock area. The camera crew that's still there with their phones filming this can barely keep up. This is raw. This is unfiltered. This is the kind of footage that goes viral within minutes. Reed is barely conscious at this point, but Roman isn't stopping. He's sending a message. Not just to Bronson Reed, but to everyone, to the locker room, to the roster, to anyone who thinks they can step to the tribal chief and walk away unscathed. And then, the New York Police Department shows up. This is where things go from crazy to absolutely nuclear. Officers arrive because someone from WWE management called them, probably panicking about the liability of what's happening. 3 NYPD officers approach the scene, and the lead officer steps forward. "Sir, you need to step back. Now." His hand is on his radio, ready to call for backup if this escalates further. Roman Reigns turns and looks at the officer. There's this moment of silence. This pause where everyone watching thinks maybe, just maybe, Roman is going to calm down. Maybe he's going to realize the severity of what's happening and back off. But instead, Roman's face twists into something even darker. He takes a step toward the officer. The officer repeats himself, more firmly this time. "Step back." Roman doesn't step back. He steps forward. And what happens next is going to be talked about for years. Roman shoves the officer. Not aggressively enough to be a full assault, but enough to make it clear that he doesn't respect the authority in front of him right now. The other 2 officers immediately move in, trying to restrain Roman, and that's when all hell breaks loose. Roman throws one of them off, swings at another, and for a few seconds, it looks like Roman Reigns is about to fight the NYPD in a loading dock behind Madison Square Garden. The Usos and Solo Sikoa rush in, trying to pull Roman back, trying to de-escalate before this turns into a legal nightmare that could end Roman's career. Paul Heyman is screaming, his voice cracking with desperation. "Roman, please, think about what you're doing." More officers are arriving now. Backup has been called. The situation is spiraling out of control faster than anyone can process. Before we go any further, I need you to pause for just a second and hit that like button. I need you to subscribe to SLAMZONE right now because you're not going to find this kind of breakdown anywhere else. We're giving you the real story, the uncensored version, the footage and details that WWE is trying to keep quiet. Turn on those notifications because when something massive happens in the wrestling world, we're bringing it to you first. Drop a comment and let me know, did Roman go too far, or is this exactly the kind of intensity we need from the tribal chief? Now let's get back to this chaos. Eventually, cooler heads prevail. Triple H himself comes running out from somewhere inside the arena. He's in street clothes, clearly wasn't expecting to have to deal with this, but here he is. He gets between Roman and the police, hands raised, trying to talk everyone down. "Officers, please, we'll handle this internally. I apologize. This won't happen again." His voice is firm but respectful. He knows how badly this could go if Roman gets arrested on the spot. The officers are still heated, but they step back. One of them is on his radio, probably filing a report. Another is checking on his colleague who got shoved. Roman is being held back by the Usos now, still breathing heavy, still looking like he wants to go another round. Bronson Reed is being helped to his feet by medical staff, blood trickling from a cut above his eyebrow, his shirt torn, his body bruised and battered. Triple H turns to Roman, and even though we can't hear exactly what he's saying, you can read his lips. "What were you thinking?" Roman just stares at him, chest heaving, not saying a word. The tribal chief doesn't owe anyone an explanation. Not Triple H. Not the police. Not the fans. In his mind, Bronson Reed crossed a line, and Roman delivered justice the only way he knows how, with his fists. The footage of this incident is already spreading across social media like wildfire. Fans who were still in the parking lot when it happened filmed pieces of it on their phones. Wrestling journalists are blowing up their sources trying to get more details. WWE's PR team is working overtime trying to control the narrative, but you can't control something like this. You can't spin Roman Reigns physically confronting law enforcement. This is real. This is messy. This is the kind of controversy that either destroys a career or cements a legacy as the most dangerous man in professional wrestling. By the next morning, statements are being released. WWE puts out a carefully worded press release saying they're reviewing the incident and will take appropriate action. The NYPD issues a statement confirming officers responded to a disturbance but that no arrests were made at the scene. Bronson Reed posts a photo from a hospital bed with the caption, "The tribal chief can't handle the truth." And Roman? Roman says nothing. He doesn't tweet. He doesn't post. He goes completely silent, and somehow that silence is more terrifying than any words he could say. The wrestling world is divided. Some people are calling for Roman to be suspended, fined, maybe even stripped of his title. Others are saying this is exactly the kind of edge that wrestling needs: real emotion, real consequences, real danger. This isn't some worked angle that was planned in a creative meeting. This is Roman Reigns losing control, and whether you love him or hate him, you can't look away. Survivor Series is just weeks away, and now this entire situation has thrown everything into chaos. Is Roman even going to be allowed to compete? Will there be legal consequences? Will WWE distance themselves from him, or will they lean into this and make Roman an even bigger monster heel? Nobody knows. And that uncertainty is what makes this so captivating. What we do know is this: Roman Reigns proved something last night. He proved that underneath the calculated promos, the methodical beatdowns, the corporate champion persona, there's still a man who will explode with violence when pushed too far. He proved that the tribal chief isn't just a character, it's who he really is. And he proved that when Roman Reigns says, "Acknowledge me," he's not asking, he's demanding. And if you don't, well, just ask Bronson Reed what happens when you refuse. This is the moment that changes everything. This is the moment that takes Roman Reigns from being the top guy in WWE to being a legitimate cultural talking point. News outlets outside of wrestling are picking up the story. TMZ is reporting on it. Sports analysts are debating whether this helps or hurts WWE's image. Roman Reigns just became bigger than wrestling, and he did it by completely losing his mind in the most spectacular way possible. Before you go, I need you to do me one more favor. Subscribe to SLAMZONE if you haven't already. Hit that like button. Turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Share this with every wrestling fan you know because we're covering the stories that matter, the moments that define careers, the chaos that makes wrestling the most unpredictable sport on the planet. Drop a comment and tell me where you stand. Is Roman Reigns a legend for this, or did he just destroy his career? I want to hear from you. This is SLAMZONE, and we'll see you in the next one. Stay ready, because in this business, you never know when the next explosion is coming. Let's go.